shooting in Michigan? Where's their orchestrated, organized effort to do something about that? They care about lives, right? No, they care about embryos, they care about zygotes, they care about fetuses, not because they actually care about human lives, but because they love the idea of controlling.
Somebody wake me up when the mainstream media stops being so disingenuous, and when pro-choicers stop distributing so many red herrings in their arguments to distract from what the pro-life movement actually does and what it stands for. We all know what a human rights activist is, right? You know the instances in history where human rights activists were needed because there was discrimination and injustice towards groups of humans? Because there is a huge chunk, I think 47% of Americans who agree with abortion. The intentional termination of a human life in the womb. That's what abortion is. And the pro-life movement is trying to bring forward and put attention on the fact that there is human life in the womb and they deserve rights as well. Human rights activists. Can we also stop pretending that pro-lifers are just totally okay and think that it's morally correct for children to be shot up in schools? It is collectively agreed upon that it's not okay for children to be killed in schools. We don't condone school shootings. So that argument is completely disingenuous. That's like asking people who advocate for breast cancer awareness, why aren't you advocating for colon cancer? We advocate for the unborn because we believe that the unborn are human, scientifically backed up, and they deserve the right to live. It's not about controlling women. You need to stop with the red herring that, oh, pro-lifers are just all about control. When the fact of the matter is, we want human rights for all humans, all of them, every single one from fertilization to death. That is what we want. So I need you guys to stop pretending that you're pinning us in a corner because it's not working. And the fact that she sat there when Google is literally free and the comments agreeing with her, when there has been so many instances and statistics showing that the pro-life movement does more than just say, hey, don't get an abortion, it's wrong. We actually care about the mother and about the child afterwards, and even about fathers sticking around to be a real man and to tend to their children. We do value human life, but we advocate for it more when it's most vulnerable and when more discrimination and injustice is happening towards it. There are so many pro-lifers that advocate against school shootings and for stricter gun laws, but you guys don't want to talk about that because then it destroys your narrative. You like to hold the narrative that you have. Those children's deaths were not for you to use as a political agenda against the pro-life community. Stop being disingenuous and recognize where your priorities are. Pro-lifers can still focus on other issues that are happening, but still heavily put emphasis on being anti-abortion. That doesn't mean that we don't care. Stop mixing things up for your narrative.
Interesting reaction.
As I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware, Texas just passed the heartbeat bill, which means that abortion is illegal after a fetal heartbeat is detected, which is about 6 weeks into pregnancy. Now, whether you agree with this law or not, a lot of women in Texas need our help right now. CareNet National is an organization dedicated to providing women and men with free services. These can include, but are not limited to, ultrasounds, pregnancy tests, proof of pregnancy, parenting classes, birthing classes, baby clothes, baby supplies, diapers, wipes, and we can usually refer you to resources in the area that are going to suit your needs specifically. To find a center near you, you're going to go to www.carenet.org and click these menu bars and find a pregnancy center near you. Specifically in Texas, there is 164 locations. Just of our organization. There are so many others that you could also look to. We want to walk with you and we want to help you in whatever way that we can. Please spread this.
Okay, so I don't really see people bring this up, so I'm going to. Do a lot of pro-choice people not realize that a large chunk of the pro-life movement used to be pro-choice? Like, a significant amount of us. And almost all of them say that it was because they started actually learning about fetal development. And they realized that most of the talking points given out by the pro-choice movement are just absolute BS. If you're a young person who is kind of pro-choice just because it's the default, I encourage you to go do your own research when it comes to the subject. Try to find sources that are as neutral as possible. Biology textbooks are a good one. And don't let the pro-choice movement shield you from the other side's arguments. Actually stop and listen and genuinely try to understand what they're saying. And even if you come to the conclusion that abortion should still be legal, well, you might find that you have more in common with the pro-life side than you think.
Hi, you guys are the organization that fights against world hunger, right? Yep, that's our sole mission, is to help end world hunger. Great. Quick question. Do you care about the people once they're not hungry anymore? What? Sorry, I was not expecting that question. Why do you fight against world hunger? Why is that what you chose to do? Because we love people and we don't think they should starve. I mean, if you really love people, it seems like you would do a little bit more than just try to end world hunger. What do you do for them after they are fed? So our mission is to end world hunger, so that's where all of our resources go into. There are other organizations like food banks that will help keep people fed, but world hunger is our mission. So, I mean, people who are going without food are also likely homeless, because if they can't afford food, they can't afford a home. What are you doing about the homeless crisis? Again, world hunger is our mission. We would like to advocate against the homeless crisis as well and help that, but yeah, world hunger is our mission. That's what we do. Well, until I see you helping the homeless crisis, and you might as well just cancel your mission to end world hunger and instead put all of your resources towards ending homelessness. Once you do that, I'll believe that you really care about people. Okay, well, copy that. Thank you for your advice. We are going to go fight against world hunger because that's what we do. Have a good day.
When a parent walks up to one of our Safe Haven baby boxes, all they have to do is open the door, place their child inside, take the orange bag, shut the door, and walk away. Follow me. Firefighters will pull the baby from the inside of the baby box. Place the child in an ambulance and head to the closest hospital. Average time our babies are in our boxes are right at 2 minutes. Okay.
Safe haven law, true or false? The newborn has to be 14 days old or younger to be surrendered. True. You have to be 18 years or older to use the safe haven law. False. You can be any age to surrender your child under the safe haven law. You won't face any charges. True. The newborn has to be unharmed. True. The safe haven facility needs to know your name. False. You do not have to give any information that you're not comfortable giving.
Oh, I'm pulling up on you, nigga. Put some respect on my name. You already know what it is. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name.
Disprovable strongman arguments and make a fool of yourself on the internet.
How about the millions of children across the world who are abandoned in orphanages and foster care? How about the millions?
1. Petty insults won't prove your argument. 2. Yes, some people in life have it worse than others, but who are you to decide if their life is worth it? 3. It is common consensus on the right that if a woman's life is in danger, they can abort the child. 4. Life starts at conception. If you disagree with me and want me to explain why you're wrong, feel free to debate me in the comments. 5. You could turn out to be a psychopathic killer. Should we kill you because we don't know? 6. It's funny that you mentioned population control in regards to killing other people, but not you, right? Population control is fine so long as it doesn't mean you, right? 7. I'm going to assume that you're fine with a man having an opinion on abortion if they agree with you. So if they're allowed to agree with you, they can disagree with you as well. Conclusion, don't repeat easily disprovable strongman arguments and make a fool of yourself on the internet.
Abortion is murder. So a miscarriage is manslaughter? Wait. Did you know 74% of people that get abortions are...
Firstly, you equal miscarriage to manslaughter. That is absolutely incorrect because manslaughter has to do with negligence and most miscarriages are not due to the fault whatsoever of the mother. You mentioned 2 problems, which is foster care and sex ed. Instead of putting energy into abortions, why don't we put energy into fixing those to actually help the people that are still alive? Also, I can almost guarantee you that if you gave most people that have been in the foster care system the choice over death or the foster care system, they would have chose the foster care system every single time. Life is always better than death, no matter how hard your situation is. And by saying what you're saying, you're implying that people that are in the foster care system would be better off dead. Not every child that is put up for adoption goes into the foster care system. In fact, the foster care system is specifically meant to separate families so that the parent can get rehabilitation and then reunite the families later. These babies can also be placed up for adoption through agencies which actually have a waiting list for parents to adopt. For victims of assault, it's not the child's fault, and death of a mother is the only exception I'd ever make.
How big is the baby now? Oh my goodness! Let me show you. So it's another week and the baby's been growing so much. And right now it's the same size as a grape, which is still super small.
This logic. Since you were so adamant about my body, my choice, let's talk about this in the first place. When you have sex, there's a possibility of getting pregnant. Sex is a choice. Now, before you comment about rape, that's about 1% of all the abortion cases in the past 10 years, so please don't even bring that up. You are responsible for the baby growing inside you because you are the one who put it there. You are not responsible for the separate person outside of your body that is suffering from kidney failure. You are responsible for this and for you. A baby is a result of a choice. If you are not ready to have a baby, take the proper precautions to prevent an unplanned pregnancy. You are responsible for your body. You are responsible for the choices you make with your body, so stop taking out your poor choices on an innocent child who didn't get to choose if it was going to be created or not. These two things are almost incomparable. A baby has completely separate DNA from you, but you are the one who put it there. Your right to bodily autonomy ends when it affects or hurts another person. Please just think about these things.
I guarantee you that no one here was planning on getting an abortion. And obviously you know that. But see, this logic would only work on pro-lifers if abortion was only about what you were doing to your own body. Let's say, for example, tattoos. Tattoos are what you do to your own body. If for some reason I didn't like tattoos, I would still let you get one. I just wouldn't personally get one. Because you getting a tattoo would not harm anybody. But in the topic of abortion, we're not talking about what you're doing to your own body. We're talking about the fact that it kills a human being and therefore being morally wrong. We do not simply dislike abortion. We are against abortion. Abortion kills a human being. Simply telling us to just not kill a human being is not remotely persuasive. It is very ignorant and very lazy.
Reading a comment that someone just made on this video, and I saw this old comment. Just let me explain something to you. It is absolutely true that my child was created out of pain, out of a deep residual pain that is never going to leave me. But at the end of the day, my child was my child. She did not belong to the man who hurt me. He did not get that. He did not deserve that. And you do not get to come in here and look at me and my experiences and my child and say that it was a rape baby. It was my rapist baby. And not everyone wants to keep their rapist baby. Because whether you like it or not, my daughter had the right to life, regardless of how she was conceived. And you people dehumanizing her repeatedly and saying things like she's a rape baby are the problem. I'm sure it feels a lot better to kill someone that you've dehumanized, but you do not get to do that here. Not with her, not with me.
Has to say.
The left should blame for the overturning of Roe versus Wade, not the Supreme Court, not Christians, not conservatives, not Republicans, not pro-lifers. The only ones they should be blaming are themselves. It is 100% their fault Roe got overturned. A lot of people, myself included at one point in time, could sympathize with the scared teenager, with the drug addict who had no business bringing a baby into this world. We could understand that. We didn't like it, we didn't agree with it, but we could at least understand it. We went from safe, legal, and rare to up to the moment of birth. We gave you an inch and you took a mile. We drew the line when you decided that you should be able to murder a fully formed infant up to the moment it exits your body. You have no one to blame but yourselves.